April 26, 2018 by Bailey Roberts. With the eyes of North American soccer all on the CONCACAF Champions League final last night, where Toronto FC fell to Chivas Guadalajara in penalty kicks, the time seemed appropriate to turn the clock back to 2013-2014 and reflect on the last time the Earthquakes participated in CONCACAF Champions League. The Quakes qualified for the 2013-2014 edition of the tournament after finishing atop the league in 2012. It was the club's second Supporters' Shield title. The Champions League draw placed San Jose in Group 5 with the Montreal Impact and Guatemalan side Heredia. After 4 games of round-robin play, the Quakes scraped out a record of 2 wins and 2 losses, just enough for them to advance out of the group on goal differential and move on to the knockout rounds. The Quakes received the number 8 seed going into the quarterfinals, where they would face Mexican side Toluca, a 10-time champion of Liga MX. As a result of their advancing in the tournament, the Earthquakes' first competitive match of 2014 would not be against MLS opposition. Instead, they would start 2014 with a massive home and away quarterfinal matchup. Going into 2014, the Quakes were facing the challenge of reshaping their squad as it transitioned from the legendary Goonies Never Say Die season of 2012. Although the late smash-and-grab tactics that made that team so infamous were not enough for the Quakes to make the playoffs in 2013, they still were finding some success against CONCACAF foes. The first leg against Toluca would be played in San Jose on March 11, 2014 in front of a sellout crowd at Buckshaw Stadium. The Quakes lineup featured staples from the Goonie-era team, with Lenhart, Gordon and Wondolowski all getting time up top, Shea Salinas and Steve Cronin holding down the midfield, with Victor Bernardez and Jason Hernandez occupying the center-back positions, and John Bush playing in between the pipes. Although being outpossessed for much of the match, San Jose was able to mount some pressure. However, Toluca scored first in the 67th minute with a fantastic strike from forward Raul Nava. The Quakes responded by putting on pressure for the rest of the second half, eventually switching to a 3-forward setup by bringing on Alan Gordon for the last 17 minutes. Eventually San Jose found a breakthrough in typical Goonie fashion with a late header goal in the 95th minute by Gordon, off of a cross from his Shea Salinas free kick. The goal came just seconds before the final whistle, and would send San Jose to Toluca tied 1-1 on aggregate. Leg 2 in Toluca would prove to be a hard-fought battle. Despite missing their entire starting defense, and having Wondolowski and Gordon both start the game on the bench, the Quakes put on a memorable performance, jumping on the board first in the 56th minute with a header goal from Ty Hart, and that came from yet another quickly taken Shea Salinas free kick. Toluca responded with a strike from Isaac Breezewell in the 69th minute, tying the series 2-2 on aggregate. The Quakes nearly grabbed a late winner in the 96th minute from Alan Gordon, had he not been offsides. The match went to extra time, where the Quakes defended vigorously against an onslaught of chances from Toluca. Particularly noteworthy was a standout performance at center-back from then inexperienced midfielder JJ. San Jose's heroic defensive efforts would be to no avail, as they would eventually fall in penalty kicks 5-4, after extra time left the teams tied at 2 goals apiece on aggregate. Despite having the Earthquakes take his side to the wire on penalty kicks, Toluca manager Jose Cardozo vented his frustration towards the defensive-minded, stubborn Earthquake side, saying that the Quakes launched 1,000 long balls and just sat back. It's clear that the Earthquakes left quite an impression that night in Mexico. The 2013-2014 CONCACAF Champions League is the first and only time that the Earthquakes have qualified for the tournament since its reformatting in 2008. Even though the team's run in the tournament was short-lived, the quarter-final clash against Toluca served as an unofficial last hurrah for the San Jose Earthquakes' Goonie-era teams. The raw fight that the team showed in Toluca, combined with Gordon's late goal in the first leg at Buckshaw Stadium, ended up serving as a bittersweet reminder of a team that is still so beloved by the fans in San Jose. Comments, share this post, email, Facebook, Twitter, Google, LinkedIn, Pinterest, vk.com.